Neeraj sir, please go ahead. We are live now.
Okay, thank you, Amit. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, our dear friends, students, faculties, and professionals. Myself, Neeraj Arora, I would like to welcome you all on this another wonderful webinar. So, friends, our today's webinar is on interlinking of UN SDGs and green and smart educational campus through Not Zero, Net Zero. Friends, this webinar is being organized jointly by TAIR Policy Center, Smart Campus Cloud Network, ASSOCHAM JAM Green Building Council, ASSOCHAM Education Council, and Paryavaran Sanrakshan Gatividhi. So friends, the objective of this webinar is to initiate a collaborative action by green building sector and education sector to define and unify existing green audit protocols in education accreditation policies. In addition, it's intended to spread another layer of sustainability awareness among students and professionals. The webinar is designed for everyone with a major importance on imparting the knowledge, policy initiative, and professional future of sustainability in education sector and beyond. So friends, for the discussion, we have eminent speakers from green building sector, from education sector, and environmental sectors as well. Starting with, we have with us Dr. Prashant Bhalla, Chairman, ASSOCHAM Education Council and President, Manav Rachna Education Institutions. We have Mr. Pankaj Dharkar, Chairman, ASSOCHAM JAM Green Building Council and President, Pankaj Dharkar Associates. Dr. Rajendra Shinde, Chairman, TAIR Policy Center and former Director, UNEP. Mr. Gopal Arya, National Convener, Paryavaran Sanrakshan Gatividhi. Architect Vijay Garg, past President, Council of Architecture and Joint Chairman, ASSOCHAM JAM Committee on Institutional Collaborations. Shri Kumar Shekhar Vijendra ji, Co-Chairman, ASSOCHAM Education Council, Co-Founder and Chancellor, Shobit University. Mr. Vineet Gupta ji, Co-Chairman, ASSOCHAM Education Council and Founder and Trustee, Ashoka University and Plaksha University. And we have with us Sandeep Narang ji, Senior Consultant, Sustainable Construction and Co-Chair Student Activities Committee, ASSOCHAM JAM. So welcome you all, and I would request now Dr. Prashant Bhalla ji to start with. Can I have a slide, please, Amit?
Thanks, Neeraj. Good morning, one and all present here. Respected Gopal Arya ji, the National Convener of PSG, Dr. Rajendra Shinde ji, Chairman of TERI Policy Center, Mr. Pankaj Dhankar ji, the National Chairman of ASSOCHAM Council of JAM and Founder President Pankaj Dhankar and Associates, Mr. Kumar Shekhar ji, my colleague, my co-chair on the National Council of Education, and we have Vineet Gupta ji also, who's a co-chair and on the National Council on Education and the co-founder of Ashoka University and Plaksha University. And a warm welcome to all my senior colleagues. It's indeed an honor and privilege to welcome all of you on this special occasion, and thank you for accepting the invitation and being here with us today. We all are aware about the 17 SDGs that have been adopted by the UN, and we need to think about simpler ways to create a more inclusive, equitable, prosperous, and sustainable future. World leaders, national organizations, local communities, everyone is working towards achieving these goals by 2030. And the climate change is definitely a global change that affects everyone, everywhere. And if we want our future generations to breathe fresh air, have clean and accessible water to live in this world, and not to bear the consequences of global warming, then we need to really act now. And though we can say it is a bit late, but I think last few years we've been seeing good actions that have been taken, and a different approach towards this issue that is emerging specifically in our youth, and the thought process that we are seeing in them. And I think over the next few years, maybe the next 10 odd years, I think youth would be the driver for this big change, and this aspect of this SDP is really getting implemented. So if I talk about the key driver and the change makers who would be the ones who would really make that difference in terms of whether it is about awareness, about building platforms for discussion to create conditions for active engagement, I think educational institutions, schools, and universities, they really have a huge responsibility and a big role to play. And I strongly believe that universities can be an important catalyst to achieving these SDGs, and they are the ones who can really inculcate these principles within the youth of today. And if I look at some international examples, whether it is some higher university rankings, higher education rankings, specifically Times Higher Education rankings, they have been now ranking universities basis this SDG. And in 2020, the La Trobe University was ranked #1 by THE for SDG 5. So these are the examples which highlight the importance of SDGs for universities, and in the pursuit of achieving this excellence for the common good. When universities engage with the SDGs, it also benefits the universities. It helps them to demonstrate their position. They can communicate, and they can engage well with the stakeholders, including government funding agencies and communities, and they can collaborate for research and education, both alike. In terms of they can identify the common interests of amongst different areas of the universities, look at cross-disciplinary partnerships, collaborations, innovations happening. They get an opportunity for their role in the 21st century, looking to be more responsive towards societal good and their needs, and they can become the change drivers amongst these global challenges. Some suggestions that I would like to make, that we need to really create new organizational units such as centers, departments, schools, faculties, institutes, or some other outfits, wherein these university programs have to be made more relevant to these goals. Some of the examples we have been seeing internationally, like Columbia University, idea of establishing an Earth Institute combining science, engineering, and public policy. This exemplifies this approach. We at Manav Rachna Educational Institutions, the mission statement of our university, which was driven by our founder, was to produce human resources sensitive to issues of environment and sustainable development, and develop environmental and sustainable development as a first area of research. For these goals and this vision to be crystallized, we have some centers that are already established. Manav Rachna Center for Peace and Sustainability has a aim to sensitize students regarding sustainable goals. They have various clubs, the Peace and Sustainability clubs, eco clubs. They work on creating these awareness campaigns. On the action bit also, they're quite involved, and also on the research part of it. We have Green Warriors who have been appointed, and they work on carbon neutral campus. They create awareness, and they work in that direction where I think the students themselves become a big driver of that change. Another step that we have taken in the direction of carbon neutral campus is by developing butterfly garden in the campus. Multidisciplinary research approach is something that the new education policy also now emphasizes upon, and we at Manav Rachna have been always working in that way, wherein we have various centers and the departments working together to meet those like challenges. And our Center of Advanced Water Technology is again one like center which is working in that direction only. The foundation also really works regularly, and whether it is PSG or TERE, Rajendra Shinde ji, we have been working with close collaboration with them also, and we have been trying to build those practices wherein we can ensure those kinds of change really happening. Another suggestion would be more around the programs where we need to really train the students towards sustainable development at each level of higher education. And I think we need to really ensure that they think systematically about these challenges in the number of disciplinary perspectives with solutions orientation. And I think for this purpose, in our curriculum, in our schools also, we have divided our curriculum and our students into various groups, and they work around one particular sustainable goal, and the curriculum is also aligned towards SDGs. So that is again one bit that we have taken in our K-12 schools also. And in university also, we are offering these courses around e-waste management, environment sustainability, peace, green chemistry. And they are actually offering these projects around SDGs like gender equality and inclusiveness, healthcare, water treatment, environment, and what not, all that we expect them to do. So I personally feel that universities should celebrate and reward such faculty and students who are involved in these kind of areas. Whether in the current times we've seen the involvement coming in from all like parts of the life of like kind of people, whether it was NGOs, students, faculty, everyone came together in fighting COVID-19, and similarly to look at other issues like biodiversity and poverty and other alike. So I think we can really use the network of universities to be an active eco variety network to help governments, businesses, and civil society to chart out the pathways to successful sustainable development, and to be the incubators for this rapid fusion of sustainable development technologies. I think universities should really take a lead, and they should help society in finding even technical solutions to achieve these goals. So I feel that all these efforts that we individually have been taking, or maybe today we have come together as in this platform where these three organizations have together taken up this issue, and they intend to work collaborate. They intend to work together. They want to collaborate, and they want to eventually like look at achieving these targets, what even the new education policy gives us, and how we can really look at the green educational campus through this net zero approach. So this is what we try to achieve, and this is a long-term vision. We know the challenges are there, and there would be some bottlenecks also as we go ahead. But I think the vision is there, the dream is there, and I really hope that we would be able to achieve this target of being the carbon neutral campus, and being one big driver of change that the government also expects us to be. And I thank everyone again who's here today, and I hope that this effort would really go a long way in all our endeavors, what we intend to do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bhalla. बिल्कुल सर, जैसा कि एसोचएम के ग्रीन बिल्डिंग सर्टिफिकेशन प्रोग्राम का नाम है ग्रीन एंड इको फ्रेंडली मूवमेंट, तो सर स्टूडेंट्स के माध्यम से और यूनिवर्सिटीज के माध्यम से हम इसे एक मूवमेंट बनाना चाहते हैं, और आज संदीप नारंग जी भी हमारे साथ, आई थिंक ही विल आल्सो इलैबोरेट ऑन दिस. सो बिफोर दैट I would like to invite Mr. Pankaj Dharkar. Mr. Pankaj Dharkar is the chairman of ASSOCHAM GEM Green Building Council and is the president Pankaj Dharkar Associates. Mr. Dharkar is a renowned MEP and green building consultant, an ASHRAE and IGBC fellow, provides innovative and sustainable solutions in the field of building engineering services. During his rich experience of 40 years, he has successfully designed and completed more than 4,000 projects of various applications. He is a member of several other technical societies like ASHRAE, ISHRAE, FSCI, IGBC, USGBC, GSCS, IPA, IA, CRA, NFPA, IAQA, SSI, and others. He is also presidential member of ISHRAE headquarter, ASHRAE West Indian chapter, FSCI, and immediate past president of FSCI. He is currently National Chair Fire Suraksha Index, which will help in proper fire audit, and also chairman FSCI COVID task force. So Dharkar ji, over to you. सर आप वीडियो ऑफ कर सकते हैं धारकर साहब, आपका थोड़ा सा इंटरनेट इशू मुझे लग रहा है. जी हाँ, वीडियो ऑफ कर लीजिए सर.
Just can you see my screen?
Yes sir, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. My apologies. So it's a very pleasant morning for us. We are really blessed with presence of Dr. Rajendra Shinde, Chairman for TERI Policy Center and former Director of UNEP. I'm really happy to share today's dais with Dr. Prashant Bhalla, Gopal Arya Saab from our Education Council of ASSOCHAM, and in fact this is one of the first major event which we are having with them. So really, sir, also honored with presence of Kuwar Shekhar Vijendra Saab, again from the Education Council of ASSOCHAM GEM, Mr. Vineet Gupta ji, and of course my leaders Vijay Garg Sab and also Naran Saab, along with all our team members of ASSOCHAM GEM. So friends, we are here in GEM. This is a very important development which ASSOCHAM has done, and we all know that ASSOCHAM is working with 400 chambers and with more than 4.5 lakhs members, and this is a new initiative. The GEM is a new initiative for ASSOCHAM. Friends, we all know that net zero buildings are catching up in the country. I was very fortunately associated with one of the largest net positive campus of the country, where we are reincarnating the Nalanda University, where we are talking about measures of renewable energies, geothermal, also complementing the passive technologies with very latest technologies of cogeneration, radiant systems, DVAP systems, thermal energy systems, and also blending the latest technologies with IoT-based IBMS system, cogeneration system, waste management systems, and also geothermal getting blended with it. So friends, I think this is what is a lesson for tomorrow. I think most of our universities, which I have been interacting in this last 18 months, I have seen that they have on sustainability, but GEM is making special efforts on ensuring that this knowledge of sustainability and passive technology, which actually India to the world, gets percolated down to the young minds. So with this initiative, with a very conscious mind, ASSOCHAM has taken a green initiative to care Mother Earth and have started this GEM sustainability certification program. Currently, this program is applicable to all Indian climate conditions and is applicable to new and existing buildings. We are addressing residentials, office factories, health factories, health faculties, facilities, hotels, warehouses, logistic park, educational institute, and industry. The program is completely based on ECBC 2017 and NBC 2016, and we at ASSOCHAM believe that these are two wonderful documents which our Indian architects and engineers have given not only to the country but to the globe. And the program completely takes care of sustainability, energy and water efficiency, daylight, indoor air quality, fresh air, human comfort, more green areas, and it is a unique program which also talks about fire and life safety. We do believe strongly that not only the building should be energy efficient, but also be safe for living. And we all know that post-COVID, we are also talking about making areas which are infection-free. Our program completely takes care of United Nations SDGs 2030, and GEM is being continuously improved to align the United Nations SDG 230 program. So GEM is the first comprehensive rating system in the world to recognize sustainability rather than incorporating few components of it. We all believe that the certification program, any building which is certified, and if there are some extra costs, they will come back to the owner within 3 to 4 years. And we all know that these buildings are created for 50 years and more. So GEM's program is affordable. It is the first indigenous program to really propagate NBCs and ECBC codes. This is India's century-old apex industry chamber, which is taking care of it. Friends, during this pandemic, our program is one of the infant programs available in the country, but we are spreading very fast. You can see here that we have a vision of reaching all 20 states immediately. We have already there in 8 of the states, and very fast improving the numbers of the states. Friends, our program is now slowly getting recognition In fact, Rajasthan was the first state to impanel us for giving the FAR advantages. And there are projects which are now coming up to take these advantages along with other certification programs like IGBC, LEED, and GREHA. So ASSOCHAM GEM is also catching up with them. You can see here, CRESIL has also recognized GEM sustainability program along with other 3 programs. Our program starts from GEM 1 to GEM 5. GEM 1 being the lowest category with 40 to 49 points on the yard scale of 10 to 135, while GEM 5 is a certification which extends beyond 105 points. And you can see here, there are 30 principles on which this certification is happening, and each principle is given adequate importance. There are certain mandatory points which are never compromised in this certification. So our certification program is very, very transparent, very easy, very simple, and it is adoptable without any issues. Friends, I'm very glad to put on record that though we started very late, but there are electrical and electronic giants like Siemens, hospitality chains of Hilton, ITC, several universities, several IT parks now certified by us. The list is endless. You can see here star hotels of Leela to terminals, airport stations, all are being covered by GEM now. Beautiful buildings across the country are now GEM certified. Our certified projects get a beautiful plaque and certificate, which the owners are very proud to display them in the reception areas or at important places. Like today, we are going to have our MOU with TERI. We already have some MOUs with important institutes like NIRI, Indian Institute of Architects, NAREDCO, various societies like FSCI, ISHRE, ASHRE chapters, international societies like IAQA. The importance of indoor air quality has really improved. We are also having some MOUs with people who manage these properties like the Facility Managers Society, FSCS, and the Lighting Society. I'm very pleased to put on record that under the able leadership of Mr. Vijay Garg and Narang, who are sharing today dais with me and are going to speak to you now later on, we started a Mission 100 during this digital era, where we thought of reaching to the university students through various university and engineering and architectural colleges. And I'm very pleased to inform you that we have already covered 70 such universities and institutes. And this week on 16th, rather next week, we are going to have another 3 added. So we will be having 73 moving towards Mission 100. Friends, these are the 3 universities which will be signed off, 2 from Gujarat and 1 from Karnataka. This is going to happen on 16th of June. We are training our professionals free of cost, and Neeraj and his team is doing a wonderful job here. Every 4th Saturday, we conduct these training sessions, and our examination for professional exam is an open book exam, 90 minutes exam. Once you clear this exam, you would be given this professional certificate. And I encourage our young students who are attending here, the beginners in profession, they must get into this. I think this is a wonderful accomplishment which the professionals will do, the engineers will do, and you will be very proud to display that within your visiting card. So friends, sustainability is all about saving water, saving waste. This is also coupled with various audit processes which ASSOCHAM is encouraging in terms of water audits, waste audit, energy audit, net zero and carbon neutrality, sustainability reporting and training and sustainability. And I'm sure with TERI, we are going to really move forward on our net zero and carbon neutrality mission in a big way. We all know that proper waste management, assessment of carbon footprint and capacity of building of staff members is going to really optimize energy uses and fresh demand that can really reduce by 20 to 35%. Friends, during this pandemic, my team did fantastic job by arranging more than 90 webinars with 85,000 plus. In fact, today's registration is 1,500. And I'm sure this number of attendees is going to go up. With 9 chapters done during this pandemic, 13 MOUs, today is going to be 14th MOUs, 70 university MOUs signed up and moving towards 73. It is a fantastic accomplishment by the team, and I'm really blessed with a very, very dynamic team in each of the states. So friends, come together and let us please to create a green and environmentally sustainable country and accomplish Prime Minister's vision. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Pankaj Dharkar ji, for the very, very encouraging and energetic message. Thank you so much. And now I would request Dr. Rajendra Shinde ji. Dr. Rajendra Shinde ji is the chairman, TARE Policy Center and former director, UNEP. Dr. Shinde is an alumnus of IIT Bombay and former director of UNEP in Paris. He presently serves as a senior expert nominated by Government of India to United Nations Environment's Technology and Economic Assessment Panel. Presently chairman of TARE Policy Center, a think tank and a action platform on energy and food security. He serves as an advisor to Paris-based Media India Agency and also member of Governing Council of MIT World Peace University of India. TARE Policy Center is affiliated to a number of UN organizations. He is honorary chairman of International Advisory Council of Operation Earth in China and member advisory board of China Biodiversity Conservation Global Development Foundation, China, and member advisory board of Panda Guide, a CSR offshoot of Sino-Chem China, one of the largest corporate companies in China. So Rajendra Shinde ji, today we are going to sign MOU also. So we would like to hear from you. Over to you, sir.
For that introduction. Let me also express my profuse gratitude for ASSOCHAM and also Paryavaran Sanrakshan Group, Sanrakshan Council for making this webinar happen. The starting point for this webinar was a consultation between ASSOCHAM and the TARE Policy Center. It was on how we can work together. And then we said that, okay, there's a lot of deliberations. Probably we are doing it for last 2-3 months. And then we came out with very useful MOU, which we then considered to sign when we have this webinar. So I'm very happy that I can see Gopalji Arya. I can also see a number of colleagues from Neeraj, including Shubhabrata, Vinitji, Balaji, with whom I have interacted in the past, Vijayji, Pankaj Dharkarji, and a number of other dignitaries that have gathered here. In about next 10 minutes, I'm going to inform to you about very quickly on TARE Policy Center and the Smart Campus Cloud Network, and about the results we are expecting from these networks, and then about our MOU, which we are launching during this webinar. As you know, 2021 is a very special year. Yes, we had a lot of sufferings in 2020 and 21, but the United Nations have come together to beat that unprecedented sufferings to the humanity and say that, okay, this one is a decade of action, which is from 2021 to 2030. And I'm very happy that the action between ASSOCHAM and TARE is taking place very beginning of this decade of action. One of the things that we need to do, and many other speakers have explained it, is we have to accelerate our implementation and attainment of SDGs and carbon neutrality. Both have become the very urgent aspects, because United Nations General Assembly, to celebrate their 75th birth anniversary of UN, said that a lot is being done, but much yet to be done for 17 SDGs. And we are likely to fall in the cracks due to the pandemic, economic turmoil, the employability chances, which are reducing day by day. And there are unprecedented consequences of that. And we have to keep in mind while making the suggestions on SDGs as well as on carbon neutrality. Let me tell you very quickly about TAIR Policy Center. It is a non-profit, non-partisan, independent organization. And its objective is to find the sustainable solutions to our developmental imperatives. So we don't belong to environmental activism. We belong to those who want to find the third way of doing the things. We don't consider that economy and environment is in war with each other. Neither environmental actions are burden to the economy. We consider that they are from the same side of the football team, and they collectively putting the ball in this new game into the goal. Terre, and it's a French word which means the earth. So it is not a terre or terri. It is a terre, which is also abbreviation of technology, education, research, and rehabilitation for environment. Our specialty is to working with the communities, which not necessarily come from the tribes or tribal area, but even the university youth is a community. And we are now at present gathered here in webinar. This is also the community who wants to take action. So one of the flagship projects of TAIR Policy Center is a smart campus cloud network. How it came into existence in 2017 is because it was learned that certain global goals, they don't reach to the university level. The students are not aware. The typical example is Millennium Development Goals. There were 8 of them, and a quick survey carried out at the end of those MDGs in 2015, it was realized that many of the university, colleges, and even schools, which were not expected because the students are very young, they didn't know anything about MDGs. But we are not going to fail this time with SDGs, which really started operating from 1st January 2016. SCCN has partners, and it's one of the most important partner is UNESCO, then AICTE, then GORD in Qatar, which is a Gulf Organization of Research and Development. And we also have, though not MOU, excellent support from UGC. And UGC and AICTE together are catalyzing this, what is called as a smart campus. And what it means is, smart means is efficient campus in all respects, not only on utilities like energy and water, but also the efficient in terms of doing original research, applied research, and field research. And while universities, because we consider that, and I'm sure all of you agree on that, is that educational institutes are laboratories for climate change and SDGs. Our objective is to make sure that graduate or postgraduate students which come out of the campus are SDG ready and climate action ready. And this is the new kind of a skill development that TAIR Policy Center is trying to achieve. I'm extremely happy that ASSOCHAM, the oldest, the largest, and the most ambitious agency, has joined TAIR Policy Center today. And I'm extremely happy to know that they also have their dignified, action-oriented partners, including in the university. And I think now the time has come to accelerate our implementation. Let me tell you how this is going to be a unique venture. It's not like any other venture. It deploys the digital technologies like IoT, cloud network, robotics, blockchain in order to implement SDGs and monitor them. So apart from the digital tools that students will be using, and they're getting ready for the digital future, SCCN's fundamental approach is through learning by doing and accelerating by sharing and by developing a partnerships like what we are doing today. Third uniqueness is this proposal or this project has already undergone a pilot phase of 2 years. It was inaugurated by Honorable Minister Prakash Ji Javadekar. Its dashboard was inaugurated by him. And after 2 years, we gathered lessons from the pilot phase, and now we are embarked in a real and full-fledged projects. We strongly believe in partnerships. We don't want to work alone in a silo. And with ASSOCHAM is a good example. The GORD, Gulf Organization of Research and Development, AICTE, UGC. But frankly speaking, each and every university campus which will join us, we will also undergo partnership agreement with them. Our advisory board is an international one because out of 350 plus campuses that are registered with us, including universities and colleges, many of them have a requirement of varied nature, including making their campus biologically diverse, not just energy efficient or getting a green building certificates, but also they want to contribute to the biodiversity related issues, which is also a huge task with us. Beijing University in China, Waseda University in Japan, and similar universities in India like Amity, SRM, Manav Rachna, UPES, all have started partnership with Smart Campus Cloud Network. And I feel with this kind of a base, with a practical pilot plant lessons and working with our partners and our advisory board, we feel confident that we will be able to accelerate our march towards the sustainable development goals. In fact, some of the experts from ASSOCHAM has already started working with us, and that typically one is we have Sarangji here, and he is going to take a lead in making sure that the energy and the carbon audit starts literally from tomorrow. We recently had about 1 week back MOU with EESL, Energy Efficiency Services Limited. And we have what is called as a kickoff meeting, the kickoff to start the action in the campus tomorrow evening. And I think we want to go straightway into the action. As we all know, the buildings and their construction together account for 30 to 40% of global energy use. So our work with ASSOCHAM in getting a green building certification probably will attack about 40% of emissions, out of which large percentage will be related to some of the things which can be simply put into the energy efficiency mode, or as EESL calls it, super energy efficiency. I think energy efficiency is a glossy and much used word, but super energy efficiency is reaching on a top and accelerating the reduction of emissions. So I think we have a great partnership here. I'm looking forward to launching of that MOU and also making sure that we really start molding the minds of the youth, which is now taking a major part of the society because of their large percentage and also the large potential that they have. With this very brief talk telling you the objectives of it, I look forward to working with ASSOCHAM and also the Paryavaran Sanrakshan under the Gopalji. And we also want to learn from them about the actions here and possibly now go global. As our Prime Minister has said, we are going to work to start with them local, then the results will be vocal, and then we will go along with our partners like ASSOCHAM abroad to give what is called as an Indian knowledge to the whole world. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Rajendra Shinde ji. Thank you so much. Now, I would request Shri Gopal Arya ji. Gopal Arya ji is the national convener, Paryavaran Sanrakshan Gatividhi. So, Mr. Gopal Arya ji is the national convener of Paryavaran Sanrakshan Gatividhi. Mr. Arya has completed his graduation in BE Mechanical Engineering from Jodhpur in 1980. He has been Central Office Secretary of RSS New Delhi for 7 years. He was also Prant Pacharak Jaipur for 7 years. He has been ABVP Kshetriya Sangathan Mantri for 8 years and Prant Sangathan Mantri Rajasthan Pacharak for 7 years since 1980. Sir, we would request you to please, over to you, sir, for your kind words.
सभी को नमस्कार। आज मुझे इस प्रोग्राम में बुलाने के लिए मैं सबका आभारी हूं कि मुझे इतने सीखने को मिल रहा है। रिस्पेक्टेड गेस्ट एंड राजेंद्र शिंदे जी, प्रशांत भल्ला जी, जो ग्रीन नेट जीरो नॉट जीरो नेट जीरो जो वाला इशू है, मुझे लगा कि हम जिस क्षेत्र में प्रयास कर रहे थे, अभी पर्यावरण संरक्षण गतिविधि पूरे देश में 1105 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में काम कर रही है। 75 यूनिवर्सिटीज में हमारा कांटेक्ट और काम है। अभी हमने एक प्रोग्राम रखा था, उसमें 25,000 स्टूडेंट्स ने लगभग 63 यूनिवर्सिटीज के ने भाग लिया था। उसका हमने ये सोचा कि ये हमारे देश से कोई क्यों ना यूथ का आइकॉन बन सकता है एनवायरनमेंट के लिए। इसलिए हमने सब यूनिवर्सिटीज में इसको किया और हमने यूथ आइकॉन फॉर एनवायरनमेंट ऐसा एक प्रोग्राम रखा था। बड़ा उसमें सक्सेस मिली, लगभग 25,000 स्टूडेंट्स ने उसमें भाग लिया। एक छोटा सा प्रयास हमने किया है, राजेंद्र शिंदे जी से हमको बहुत सीखने को मिलेगा क्योंकि वो इतने दिनों से काम कर रहे हैं। पर्यावरण संरक्षण गतिविधि में एक हमारा वर्टिकल है एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट्स, और कुछ एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट्स में हम यूनिवर्सिटीज, कॉलेजेस, स्कूल्स एंड रिसर्चर्स, ऐसे हमारे उसमें 4 वर्टिकल है। अच्छा लगा मुझे कि जिस काम पर हम कर रहे थे तो हम यूनिवर्सिटीज के लिए 4 पॉइंट रख रहे थे। उसमें से एक बहुत अच्छा राजेंद्र शिंदे जी हम इस कर रहे हैं कि हम यूनिवर्सिटीज को ग्रीन कैंपस बनाना चाहते हैं। और ग्रीन कैंपस जैसा आपने सोचा वैसा ही कि जो हमारे 5 एलिमेंट है, क्या उसका संरक्षण, उसका कंजर्वेशन हम अपने यूनिवर्सिटीज में कर रहे हैं, चाहे वो वाटर हो, चाहे फायर हो, चाहे वेस्ट हो, चाहे एनर्जी हो, बायोडाइवर्सिटी हो, लाइक दिस। ठीक, हमने दूसरा इसमें ये रखा कि क्या स्टूडेंट पार्टिसिपेशन के लिए, क्योंकि हमारे 3 प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, पब्लिक अवेयरनेस, पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेशन, पब्लिक मूवमेंट। तो हमने यूनिवर्सिटीज में सोचा कि हम स्टूडेंट्स पार्टिसिपेशन कैसे कर सकते हैं। पार्टिसिपेशन के लिए इको क्लब्स के बारे में हमने विचार किया और फिर अपनी यूनिवर्सिटीज का कोई सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हो सकती है क्या। मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगा जब मैं बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज में बात किया तो ध्यान में आया कि बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटी ऑलरेडी, जैसे प्रशांत जी के माध्यम से एक उन्होंने वाटर पॉन्ड ले रखा है, उस पॉन्ड को रिनोवेट करवाने का क्या यूनिवर्सिटी सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी का एक आइकॉन बन सकती है क्या? तो लास्ट में है क्या हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस, मतलब क्या वहां पर रिसर्च, स्किल डेवलपमेंट, इक्विवेशन सेंटर, जो राजेंद्र जी ने कहा कि क्या हम लोकल इनोवेशंस, लोकल प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी से दे सकते हैं क्या? ऐसे 4 हमने ऑब्जेक्टिव लेकर ये काम शुरू किया। मुझे अच्छा लगा क्योंकि कुछ मेरे को ध्यान में आया कि जिस दिन अपने देश के अंदर हिस्ट्री में उठाकर देखें कि यूनिवर्सिटीज और प्रोफेसर्स और उसके कुलपति, जिनको हम मालिकी बोलेंगे आज की तारीख में, वो जब एक्टिव होकर किसी काम में लगते हैं तो वो चाणक्य हो, चाहे शिवाजी के समर्थ गुरु रामदास हो, इस देश के अंदर परिवर्तन आ जाता है। और इसलिए मुझे आज बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है कि जब यूनिवर्सिटी ने किसी चीज को अपने आप में कॉन्सेंट्रेट कर दिया, तो यूनिवर्सिटी केवल एक नहीं है, यूनिवर्सिटी एक इंस्टीट्यूशन है जिसमें लाखों विद्यार्थी, मैं हजारों नहीं कह रहा, लाखों विद्यार्थी आकर निकलते हैं, और उनमें से अगर कुछ को भी हम प्रेरणा दे पाए तो इस देश का भाग्य बदल सकता है। मुझे लग रहा है कि अब वो समय आ गया है, क्योंकि छोटे छोटे हमारे प्रयास, नागपुर का एक ब्लाइंड रिलीफ एसोसिएशन का एक स्कूल है, कॉलेज ही है वो, उसमें 150 स्टूडेंट्स रेजिडेंशियल पढ़ते हैं। आज वहां 0 वाटर वेस्ट है, आज वहां 0 इलेक्ट्रिसिटी लेते हैं, वो लेते ही नहीं है इलेक्ट्रिसिटी। वहां पर उन्होंने पक्षियों तक के लिए बर्ड होटल लगाए हुए हैं। बर्ड होटल लगाना मतलब हमारा अपने नेचर के प्रति बच्चों को जोड़ना है। और इसलिए अंत में जो राजेंद्र शिंदे जी ने कहा, मुझे लगा बहुत अच्छा है। एक अंतिम बात कह के मेरी बात पूरी करूंगा कि हमको अपने ट्रेडिशनल जो प्रैक्टिसेस हैं उसको ग्लोबल करना है। हमारे यहाँ के जो सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के लिए हमारी जो प्रैक्टिसेस हैं, एक्चुअली वही विश्व को भी हमको मार्गदर्शन करने की आवश्यकता पड़ेगी। अब भारत विश्व गुरु इसके और बढ़ने के लिए अग्रसर हो गया। और एक मैं छोटी सी अंतिम बात ये कहना चाहता हूं कि क्या हम वर्चुअल एनवायरनमेंट की तरफ बढ़ सकते हैं क्या? हो सकता है बहुत सारी चीजें, लेकिन वर्चुअल एनवायरनमेंट क्या होता है? मैं 1-2 उदाहरण देता हूं, चूंकि यहाँ यूनिवर्सिटीज के बहुत सारे लोग बैठे हैं। अगर हम अपनी यूनिवर्सिटीज में, वैसे मैं छोटा उदाहरण देता हूं कि एक व्यक्ति जब जन्म लेता है और उसकी मृत्यु होती है 60 इयर्स में, 1 टन पेपर यूज करता है, किसी भी रूप में वो 1 टन पेपर यूज करता है। और 1 टन पेपर का मतलब है 17 ट्रीज एंड 40,000 लीटर्स ऑफ वाटर। क्या हमारी यूनिवर्सिटीज में हम ये 17 पेड़ को बचा सकते हैं क्या? और बचाने के लिए क्या हम रिसाइकिल पेपर यूज कर सकते हैं क्या? हमने वर्चुअल ट्री को बचा लिया। हम ट्री लगाना, अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी को ग्रीन करना, ये तो समझ सकते हैं, लेकिन क्या बचाना बहुत आवश्यक है। इसलिए पानी बचाने का मतलब हमने 39,000 लीटर्स ऑफ पानी अगर रिसाइकिल पेपर यूज किया तो बचा सकते हैं। तो क्या हम इस प्रकार की कुछ प्रैक्टिसेस को अपने, और मेरा आग्रह इसलिए है एजुकेशन सेंटर्स में, चूंकि वहां से कोई भी बच्चा, कोई भी नेक्स्ट जनरेशन इस चीज को लेके जाएगी, क्या हम अपनी, मैं 2-3 यही सुझाव है मेरे कि क्या हम अपने सिलेबस में, वैसे तो आ ही गया है यूजीसी और उसके द्वारा ये सिलेबस में आ ही गया है, लेकिन क्या कुछ सिलेबस में हम ऐसा ऐड कर दें, उनको क्रेडिट के नाम पर बच्चों को एनकरेज कर सकते हैं क्या? स्टूडेंट्स पार्टिसिपेशन के लिए हर यूनिवर्सिटी और कॉलेज में हम क्या इको क्लब बना सकते हैं क्या? उसको कैसे एनकरेज किया जाए, उसके लिए नए नए प्रोग्राम। और क्या हम मिनी डेंस फॉरेस्ट्री, हमारे स्मृति वन जैसे, हमारे जन्मदिन पर बच्चे को लगे 10 साल बाद भी जाए तो कहेगा ये मेरा पेड़ है, तो क्या उसके जन्मदिन पर कैसे भी कोई एक स्मृति वन जिसको बोलते हैं, क्या हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं क्या अभी इस प्रकार से? और क्या हम रिसाइकिल पेपर वाली मेरी बात है, ऐसे कुछ विषय हैं। मेरे को ऐसा जानता हूं कि राजेंद्र शिंदे जी से ये सब कोई सब्जेक्ट छूटा हुआ नहीं होगा, लेकिन कुछ बातें हमको अपने मॉरली अपने से करना है, तो ऐसे हम कर सकते हैं। मैं इस प्रयास के अंदर भारत के अंदर कॉलेज और स्कूलों में भी इस विषय को हम ले जाने के लिए करने की कोशिश करेंगे। आपका मार्गदर्शन और आशीर्वाद बना रहेगा। तो अभी हमने 6000 स्कूलों में एक स्कूल एनवायरनमेंट कंपटीशन ऑनलाइन कराया। उसमें MOEF और एजुकेशन मिनिस्ट्री और सेंट्रल स्कूल्स के अंदर सरकार के द्वारा इसको नीचे तक प्रोपोगेट किया गया। उसमें 1.8 लाख स्टूडेंट्स ने भाग लिया। मुझे लगा कि ये छोटा सा प्रयास बच्चों के ऊपर आगे आने वाले दिनों में बहुत बड़ा इम्पैक्ट कर पाएगा। तो हम स्कूल और कॉलेजों में भी आपके मार्गदर्शन से इसको आगे लेंगे और यूनिवर्सिटी में आप कर ही रहे हैं, हम आपके साथ हैं। मैं प्रशांत भल्ला जी और एसोचैम को धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा कि उन्होंने मुझे बुलाया और इससे सीखने को मिला। इससे हम मिलकर साथ काम करेंगे, ऐसा मुझे लगता है। धन्यवाद, नमस्कार।
धन्यवाद श्री गोपाल आर्य जी। और बिल्कुल सही बात है सर, ये अब पर्यावरण का संरक्षण करना अब हमारी नैतिक जिम्मेदारी है। और मुझे लगता है कि जब शिक्षा जगत इस काम का बीड़ा उठा लेगा तो आई थिंक इसको एक क्रांति, एक मूवमेंट बनने से कोई नहीं रोक सकता है सर। सो थैंक यू सो मच गोपाल आर्य जी। नाउ आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट आर्किटेक्ट विजय गर्ग जी. Architect Vijay Garg ji is the past acting president, Council of Architecture, and is the joint chairman, ASSOCHAM GEM Committee on Institutional Collaborations. Just a minute. So, Vijay Garg ji is an architect with an experience of over 5 years, founder of firm Design Consultants. He served as advisor to many districts of Rajasthan throughout his architectural practice. He has also been the acting president, Council of Architecture from 2018 to 19, and the vice president of COA from 16 to 18. Architect Garg has also been very active in the Indian Institute of Architects and is credited with various publications and initiatives both at northern and the national level. He has also been widely acknowledged as the founder of Profession First, an initiative for the welfare of society through architects and architecture. He is a visiting professor at SPA Delhi for the past few years and is also an advisor to Delhi government PWD minister. So Vijay Garg ji, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Neeraj ji, for the opportunity, and I welcome all of you today on this nice occasion of signing of MOU with TERI. I welcome Prashant Bhalla ji, our chairman of the ASSOCHAM Education Council, Pankaj Dharkar sir, our chairman for ASSOCHAM GEM Council, and Dr. Rajendra Shinde, chairman TERI Policy Center, Gopal Arya sir. Very nice words of wisdom from you for today's generation, and Kumar Shekhar Vijendra ji and Vineet Gupta ji and my friend Sandeep Narang ji and colleagues at ASSOCHAM. I think the initiative under the leadership of Pankaj Dharkar sir in the GEM Council, this is today's event will go a long way because our initiative of joining all institutions, particularly institutions of higher learning, which we thought about one and a half year back, that will connect all the universities of higher learning with the ASSOCHAM GEM Council with an idea that we can connect all the stakeholders, particularly who will build tomorrow's India with awareness about environment, water and air. Water and air has particularly become very important today's scenario. After pandemic, we have realized water and air is the costliest thing which one can dream of. You cannot buy them with money, but you can actually have them if you preserve them, respect them, and use them properly. So use of resources is an important area. And with the signing of MOU with TERI Center with Dr. Shinde, and with the blessings and association of Gopal Arya sir, I am sure, and the Education Council of ASSOCHAM taking keen interest and helping the GEM Council to connect with all the universities and the faculties and the students and connecting everyone. Pankaj Dharkar sir has already elaborated that the passive technology and sustainable programs the way we have designed in GEM Council will go a long way in enforcing that the people can actually use certification programs and professional upgradation and professionally building infrastructure which is green, which is sustainable, because sustainability is not only about energy, it is also about conserving resources, particularly like water, air, and all other basic elements. And like Pankaj Arya sir said, that we have to save on resources. He's talking about water, he's talking about paper, but at the same time, is basically saving of resources. With minimum resources, how we can produce or deliver maximum. That is the core in the sustainability world, which SOCHM Green Building Program is trying to do and trying to educate the faculties and students. Our primary aim is on not only to educate, but also make all the educational campuses of higher learning as green and GEM certified campuses, because they are the learning ground for all the people who will go and build tomorrow's India. And with the leaders here from SOCHM Education Council and TERE, I'm sure all this will help us in building a better environment, better sustainable future for the people of India. So with this connect, we are trying to bring in all the issues which are relating to environment, which are relating to water, electricity, and relevant incentives by involving various governments, various professionals. Not only initially we started with architecture and engineering students because we thought they can contribute a little better, but I'm sure all spheres of life, all disciplines have something or the other to contribute. Even management can tell us how you can better manage the environment. So it is an imperative that we can, it is most important that we can involve and make educational institution take a lead and deliver a sustainable future for tomorrow. And net zero campuses is at the core of it. We are talking only of the carbon footprint in net zero, but we are talking of using of resources, not only carbon, but all kind of resources to be minimum to be used, and for creating a happy and better sustainable future. I'm sure with the presence of all the leaders today and cooperation from Dr. Shinde and Gopal Arya sir and all the our Education Council members will help us better build a good network through GEM Council and deliver our mandate of creating a better environment through GEM and GEM certified campuses across the world, across the country. And we not only in GEM Council, we are only focusing in India, but we are also trying to cover the SAARC nations through this program. And I thank Pankaj Dharkar sir for taking this lead and inviting Education Council and TERE and Paryavaran Sangathan for this initiative. And thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my views. I'm sure with all the cooperation, all of you will go and build all the campuses Green India, and we'll soon have all the universities and educational institutions in the GEM network. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vijay ji, for your guidance and support. And absolutely, sir, we always say that our climate is changing. When our climate can change, why not us? So with this word, I would like to invite Kumar Vijendra ji. Shri Kumar Shekhar Vijendra ji is the co-founder and chancellor of Shobhit University, Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, and a prominent social entrepreneur based in New Delhi. He is co-chairman of SOCHM National Council on Education. Kumar Shekhar ji is a persistent advocate of the initiatives for education for all, national values, crisis management throughout diplomatic and peaceful ways, globalized system of learning, rural development and empowerment of youth through education. His family had been instrumental in the development of a number of higher education institutes, research centers, including 2 universities and a 100-bed Ayurved hospital in Western Uttar Pradesh. So, Kumar Shekhar ji, over to you. We would like to hear from you.
Thank you very much, Neeraj. It's indeed a pleasure to be with all of you. आज का जो विषय है, मैं सबसे पहले गोपाल आर्य जी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि उन्होंने इस विषय को, जिसे हम एक यूनाइटेड नेशन के सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल तक सीमित करना चाहते हैं, उसे जन जन के एक आंदोलन के रूप में न केवल उसे ले जा रहे हैं स्कूलों में, संस्थाओं में, और अपने पर्यावरण संरक्षण गतिविधि के द्वारा उसे सारे समाज में, सारे देश में ले जा रहे हैं. तो I am thankful to Mr. Shinde, also the chairman of TAIR, for a wonderful initiative what he has taken, and he spoke very well about all the initiatives. Dr. Pankaj, the chairman of GEM Council, Green Council, my colleague and the chairman of Education Council, Dr. Prashant Bhalla, Mr. Vijay Garg, Vineet Gupta ji, and Neeraj, and other colleagues. This is indeed a very, very important topic which need to be discussed. Generally, what is happening that, especially in the perspective of universities and institutions, if we look at, many times what is happening that universities and institutions, they try to do something when it gives back to them. Like now, accreditation, NAC, UGC has said something, AICT is talking about, Honorable Minister is talking about, maybe a lot of institutions, they want to have a green campus certificate. But actually what we have to understand and we have to appreciate that we build campuses to build life. And every campus should have that life. And that life will come when they will be very near to the nature. Then they will be speaking about the nature in their nature itself. अभी मैं देख रहा था कि पर्यावरण संरक्षण जो अभियान है, उस पूरे अभियान में किन किन चीजों पर, किन किन विषयों पर बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान दिया गया. It is very interesting and I will like everybody to see that. उसमें 5 विषयों पर बात की गई और पहला विषय है जल, और दूसरा है जमीन, फिर है जंगल, फिर है जानवर, और फिर है जन. अब यदि हम इसमें देखें, जो जन है वो लास्ट में आया है, 5वें पे आया है. एंड दिस इज द एक्चुअल चैलेंज इंडीड. हमें ये लगने लगा कि जन सबसे ऊपर है और जन कुछ भी कर सकता है. जो मानुष है वो कुछ भी कर सकता है, कैसे भी वो चाहे कर सकता है. वो जल से खेल सकता है, वो जमीन को बर्बाद कर सकता है, जंगल को काट सकता है, बायोडाइवर्सिटी को, जानवर को हटा सकता है, क्योंकि जन को रहना है. लेकिन एक्चुअली वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड अप्रिशिएट कि यदि ये 4 चीजें नहीं होंगी तो वो जन भी नहीं रहेगा. And this is what exactly universities, institutions, all councils, TAIR, and every other organization have to understand that if we have to survive, then climate has to be clean. If we have to be to survive, our campuses, our earth has to be more cleaner. If we have to be survive, we have to ensure that biodiversity is there everywhere. And for that, the role of universities is very important. Not only getting certificate, it is like they have to create, because the challenges what I am seeing and what I realized that, okay, fine, infrastructure we can create. One challenge which is coming is with existing institutions. You know, generally what happens when norms are made by AICT, UGC, or any regulatory body in the world, they are made today, if they are made, they apply to everybody, and one size cannot fit all. If a university is 20 years old or 30 years old, so definitely they have their own limitations. Now it means more awareness has to be there, more innovation has to be there. We have to be very, very innovative. We cannot say these are the guidelines And these are the parameters, and everybody has to fit in that. And trainings have to be there. Because generally what is happening when you talk about green campus in the universities, it means you should have more plants and water harvesting, and that's all. And maybe some solar plates. There are many other parameters which need to be taken care. And I'm sure that today's exercise, today's this webinar is going to enlighten all of us for that. And it is doing that wonderful job. Thank you again, everybody, for the same. Because one more thing is there, like when we look at the pressure, global pressure, by 2050, everybody has to sign a pact. A global political campaign is going on since April, like 2021, especially. That we have to be a part of that net zero goal by 2050. But we have to understand in India, we have other important tasks also. And definitely that is the challenge with India. But yes, we can. What we can do that at least our 1,000+ universities and other schools and institutions, they can have their own target that by 2030 we will have a green campus. If not 100%, but yes, we will put our efforts for that. We will give training. We will put everything infrastructure-wise, whatever is required, we will do that. And one important thing, what Gopal Arya ji mentioned, and which is very important. Generally, you know what is happening. Vijay Garg ji is also with us. He will appreciate that. That when we talk about architecture, a competition is started. Like we have two universities. One is in Meerut, and one is in district Saharanpur, a small town called Gango. But generally what is happening, everybody thinks that all the universities should look modern. They should have glass walls, glass mirrors, this and that. But if we look at our ancient architecture, Indian ancient architecture, we were master of that. जब मैं हवा महल जाता हूँ तो वहाँ AC की याद नहीं आती है. We do not look for an AC in a Hawa Mahal. And there are so many such examples. So it means that I will request all those stakeholders and those who are advocating this policy very strongly nationally and otherwise, that we have to encourage people to have infrastructure and architecture which is locally relevant also. Like local architecture has also to be promoted to have better, more efficient green campuses. And then only we will be able to develop green educational campuses. One, this not zero, yes, we cannot go, but net zero we can think of. And this United Nations goals, what are there? Definitely we will be in position to at least acknowledge them and achieve them partially in our institutions also. Again, with a request, I would like to conclude that all institutions need to start some initiative on that. In 2009, we had an opportunity when the then Sanchalak of RSS, Mani Sudarshan ji, he came to the university and he was awarded honoris causa doctorate by Shobhit University. That time itself, we started an initiative जिसे हमने कहा उस वक्त पर्यावरण जीव. And what was that? That all over nearby areas, whatever villages are there, whatever things are there, we said, भाई माता धरती हमारी माता है और उसके लिए जो भी हो सकता है, every student has to do something. जो गोपाल आर्य जी कह रहे थे एक पेड़ लगाने की बात, तो वो पेड़ लगाने का अभियान at Shobhit University we started, and we started working on those plants like we are working on Rudraksh and we are working on Kalptaru. These are two trees where a lot of research is happening at Shobhit University, and we feel if such research is started at different universities, it will help us to have better green campuses with all architecture, technology, and all other parameters what is required to get certified. Thank you very much, Neeraj, for this opportunity. Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful message. And you are absolutely right, sir. Merely following the Western design just in the name of green building is not appreciable. We have our own healthy ancient architecture, which if we can use properly, will give us excellent results. So thank you so much, sir. And now I would request Sri Sandeep Narang ji for a small talk. He will give us the students' perspective and will share a very small example that how our students are, working towards GEM. So Sandeep Narang ji is having 30 years of experience and did civil engineering from Delhi Engineering. He's a respected, well-known veteran within the real estate community in the country and has excellent knowledge of the dynamics of the volatile real estate market. He's a champion of affordable housing and an expert in sustainability in the built environment. He's a crucial and active member of Indian Institute of Lean Construction Excellence. He consults projects on prudent usage of resources and help project teams to meet their green and sustainable targets. Sandeep ji is currently working on projects with a deep social impact, where he is using the experience and knowledge to develop a blueprint for zero wastage project sites to follow the path of sustainable construction practices and construction. We work on optimizing the water usage during construction phase, outdoor air quality during construction phase. So Sandeep Narang ji, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Neeraj ji. I'm audible?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
audible?
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
yes.
Thank
Yes, sir.
you, Neeraj ji. Thank you for that kind introduction. And namaskar to all the esteemed panel and attendees. So I'm blessed to be within this panel of knowledge and experience. And when we started Green and Eco-Friendly Movement, so I was there from day zero or day one under the leadership of Bhaskar sir and Vijay Garg ji. So Green and Eco-Friendly Movement had a very clear-cut vision of Green India. And we knew the path. Green India is not possible without green citizens. So we need to get that message across towards the whole of the population. And that has been the leading vision, as Honorable Prime Minister also gave us during his centenary talks, during the centenary talks of ASSOCHAM. Green India, green campus, green minds, green citizens. So that's the path we have been following. And that's the discussion we always have whenever we meet. We have MOUs with 70 plus universities. And we have been going step by step or working on how to have green minds working on the campuses, who are the future ambassadors. And as Dr. Prashant Balla said, change students as change makers, or Rajendra Shinde Saab mentioned about molding the mind of students. So we have the same synergies going at GEM student programs. So at step one, knowledge enhancement of students, we are doing that through the webinars, participation of students in the webinars, subject matter expert talking to students at lots of webinars we have been able to arrange through going through these COVID times when the students also are particularly inclined towards this online mode. Number two is practicing sustainability in the campuses. We encourage students to whatever good work that can happen on the, we are getting a bit of handicap because we are not getting into offline participation during these days. And third and very important steps that we have been promoting is practicing sustainability as green careers, students going for green careers, and practicing sustainability in their individual lives. So that's where we see a trump of green minds. And that's the root of green minds, green campuses, and green India, what we have been planning to do at CGEM. And one of the very good examples have come a few days ago, when one of our students who has gone through this capacity building program, he's a civil engineer, and when he wanted to make his own house, he wanted his house to be green certified during the design phase. So he's into the design phase of the house, and he wants the design house to be green. It's a very small step, but this is a significant result of how we can have the dream of Green India going. When these green minds, the results getting translated on the field. That's what I would like to say. Thank you, and it will be wonderful associating with TERE and SCCN on ASSOCHAM, and lots of synergies over here. Thank you, everyone. Go Green India. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep Narang ji. So friends, now the time has come when we are going to sign the MOU with TER. So I would like to request Amit to please share the video we have made for this wonderful MOU signing. So with your permission, Dharkar ji, Bhalla ji, Rajendra Shinde ji and Gopal Arya ji. Yeah. So congratulations, Rajendra Shinde ji.
Congratulations to you also.
Sir, thank you, Shinde Saab. I think it was a great pleasure to have this MOU in place, and I'm sure it will not be only on paper, but we will be working together with your vision. You'd like to take it forward to all the student chapters. We have this chapter. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pankaj ji. Thank you very much. It is an honor to be partner with ASSOCHAM.
Yes, sir.
With
Thank you,
so
sir.
many organizations there, I'm sure the word action will be on the front and the word paper would be on the backside. As Gopalji said, saving the paper is a virtual protection of environment. Thank you for that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, Rajendra ji. So we assure you that this MOU will not be a static MOU. This will be a very, very dynamic MOU, and in near future results will definitely be appeared, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I would request Shri Vineet Gupta ji. Vineet Gupta ji is the co-chairman of ASSOCHAM National Education Council and is the founder and trustee of Ashoka University and Plaksha University. Mr. Gupta is graduated from IIT Delhi in 1991 in mechanical engineering. In an entrepreneurial career spanning 25 years, Vineet ji has built companies across different domains. He is currently the co-founder and managing director of Jamboree Education, India's largest overseas test preparation company. Jamboree operates 39 tuition centers in 19 cities of India, Middle East, Singapore, and Nepal, and trains close to 20,000 students annually. In the last 12 years, Vineet ji has also played an active role in higher education as an institutional builder. Vineet ji is a founder and trustee of Ashoka University and has been involved with Ashoka University since 2007 when he, along with a few business leaders, came together with the idea of setting up a high-quality liberal arts university in India. Vineet ji also played a key execution role as the founding pro-VC of the university from 2014 to August 17. And was instrumental in building the institutions from ground up and setting up key functions of the university. So Vineet ji, over to you, and we would like to hear from you the way forward, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Neeraj, for that introduction, and it's a real honor and pleasure to welcome our distinguished speakers for today's ceremony. I should admit that the last 70-75 minutes has been truly exciting. And, I was amazed at the sort of that has already been done, and really congratulations to each partner for where they have brought us. Prashant ji and Kunwar ji, my colleagues from the Education Council, highlighted the role that universities can play in making this world a place. And I just wanted to add a little from my side. Universities traditionally for long have been places where education is imparted and also where knowledge is created. Knowledge is imparted and knowledge is created. I do believe universities have to go beyond. Universities have to create impact, test that knowledge out, and make this world of ideas. The UN Sustainable Development Goals came out in 2015. I think give a very good work for universities to adopt, and those are extremely broad. while the goals advocate for clean energy, clean water, sustainable campuses, but the goals are far broader: no poverty, no hunger, good health, good education, gender equality, sustainable development. So they pretty much lay out the roadmap for what economic development could be, which is sustainable in all aspects: social, economic, and environment. So I think the SDGs lay out a good framework for university. World over, universities have started moving in that direction. The National Academy of Engineering, which is the of the US, came out with, these were related to, again, to better health, better education. They also had elements of security, which has become a big issue now. And I think the notion in universities now is that students, faculty have to work, have to collaborate, to use their knowledge and create knowledge to work on some of these challenges. In India, I believe we can have our own version of our own grand challenges. India, we have the second largest population in the world. We have challenges at unprecedented scale. I think we have challenges at scale which no other country has. And in a lot of areas, we've demonstrated that the way we have dealt with those challenges can become examples for the rest of the world. The way we created the Aadhaar platform and how it has really become a platform not only for citizen identification, but also for welfare schemes is unparalleled. And the cost that we've done it at. And there are many such examples of where India has taken the lead in creating solutions that are sustainable. I believe today's partnership with Gopal Arya ji and Rajendra Shinde ji is historic. Each of these organizations has done tremendous amount of work in their individual areas. It was very heartwarming to listen to Pankaj ji and Vijay ji on what the ASSOCHAM GEM Council has done. The framework and the GEM certification. Today, after hearing Pankaj ji, I was extremely excited to hear all the work that has already been done by ASSOCHAM, and really my heartiest congratulations. I think universities can adopt this certification. Universities should actively spearhead into trying to get into this direction. And the fact that the GEM Council is already working with 70 universities is a shot in the arm already, right? We can capitalize on this and move forward. Rajendra Shinde ji already expanded, I think in some sense, already expanded the mission for us. I think net zero campuses are only the starting point, but his articulation of a smart campus cloud network in some sense takes the mission beyond. Getting technologies like IoT, blockchain in make campuses better, to encourage better education, to encourage better research, is already a step in that direction. I think there's lots we can learn from our own tradition, from what India has already done, but there's lots that can also be done by marrying new technologies and what our tradition says. So in some sense, I think we could really become the place from where this sort of innovation goes out to the rest of the world. India is fortunate that despite our enormous challenges in education, we have one of the few countries in the world where new universities are getting created. Campuses in the West are shutting down, enrollment rates are declining, whereas we have a challenge that we have still 75% of our students to educate in college. So lots can be done in universities. Lots of new things can be done. From the perspective, I think, of this partnership, we have three tremendously credible organizations: the ASSOCHAM GEM Council tier, which Rajendra Shinde ji heads, and Gopal Arya ji's PSG, which has already done a lot of work in spreading awareness, in taking this whole environment mission to schools and colleges across India. So each organization comes with very complementary strengths. And I think we can harness the collective energy of these three organizations to move forward. And to Neeraj's point on what we could do, some things seem very obvious. The fact that we can run education courses for university leaders, faculty, and students on green certification, making campuses environmentally sustainable, is a natural next step. I think that will happen. That's already happening. Some of these courses are going on. GEM certification for campuses. I think again a natural next step. I think all of our universities should be enrolled in this mission. From TARE, we can already take their idea of smart campus cloud network and really bring it to all our campuses. I think it's really a next step which expands this mission going beyond net zero, also making our campuses more exciting. You know, I was recently in a conversation which said, what would a smart campus look like? And maybe some of the things I got some answers when Rajinder Shinde ji was speaking today. So I think that would be a logical next step, expand the mission. The next one, I think even going beyond, which is sort of the mission I feel should be there for universities. I should mention here that the new university that I'm part of creating, which is coming up in Mohali, Plaksha, is based on the UN SDGs. We do want to bring in education of the SDGs, not only as part of curriculum, but also as part of research. So setting up distinctive research efforts, whether in health, whether in agriculture, whether in water. So adoption in curriculum and research of the UN SDGs should be the next logical step. And we should do that, right? Not restrict ourselves just to net zero or making our campuses smart, but really adopting the UN SDGs in spirit and form in our education and research. I think that will make our universities truly, truly distinctive. Well, I would like to close by saying that I'm truly excited. I really want to thank Rajinder Shinde ji, Gopal Arya ji for gracing this occasion. I do want to thank my colleagues Prashant ji and Kumar ji from the Education Council, and Pankaj ji and Vijay ji from the GEM Council for bringing all of us together. I do want to compliment Neeraj and his team. They are always at the forefront of organizing these functions, and it amazes me sometimes at the speed with which they do it. I think collectively we all can make and create a movement that goes beyond net zero, a movement that goes beyond sustainable goals, and a movement that helps to create some outstanding universities from India and also helping create a better world. So thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you, Vineet ji. Thank you so much for the vote of thanks and the way forward. Thank you so much. So congratulations team once again. And we would like to extend our gratitude and thanks to our attendees also. So around 600 plus attendees all the time listening to us, and still the attendance is almost touching 600. So thank you so much, dear attendees, friends, to us and extending your support for all our webinars. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajendra ji. Thank you once again.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Rajendra ji, I will once talk to you, Kavi.